Hi everybody. I'm really late to the game, but I just found out that actor Noel Clarke is being accused of being a sexual predator. Oh Lord have mercy. Okay, so I'm reading from The Guardian right now. Actor Noel Clarke accused of groping, harassment, and bullying by 20 women. This is something that he categorically denied. It says that BAFTA has suspended its Outstanding Contribution Award and actors membership, but apparently the BAFTA knew about everything that was going on before the allegations dropped. And they're only just doing this now that people have found out, which is very, very shifty to me. Alleged misconduct, including claims he secretly filmed naked audition. Doctor Who and Kid Alt star allegedly showed colleagues sexually explicit photos and videos of women. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, basically, this man collected his award with BAFTA having full knowledge about what the hell was going on with him. They still gave him the award. And only now did they decide that they're gonna that they're gonna suspend him and suspend the award or whatever, what have you. So the Guardian spoke to all 20 women who knew Clarke in a professional capacity. They variously accused him of sexual harassment, unwanted touching or groping, sexually inappropriate behaviour and comments on set, professional misconduct, and taking and sharing sexually explicit pictures and videos without consent, and bullying between 2004 and 2019. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so this goes into a lot of detail, this article. I suggest you read this Guardian article, because The Guardian, as much as I don't really like them, they tend to report what people say and report like in a way that's not emotional. So I suggest that you read that article by The Guardian. That article was produced yesterday, so I suggest you read that. I really wanted to actually talk about the wider implications of the Noel Clarke reports, and and how that reflects everyday life as a whole, and how that reflects the current cultural and political landscape. So Adam Deacon said years ago that Noel Clarke was a bullying person. He was he was a bullying person, and somebody like Adam Deacon, when you go into the history of what actually happened and what he was, and what reports were made about him to police and later the restraining order, when you put somebody like Noel Clarke and Adam Deacon together, Adam Deacon seems to me like to be a very straightforward person. Maybe not loud or raucous, but definitely straightforward. So when you've got somebody like him and somebody like Noel Clarke becoming friends, it seems like a meeting of two minds. But then Adam must have started to notice, because as rough as he is, he's street smart, right? So he probably would have started to notice early on some problematic behaviour on Noel's part towards other people. Adam might have sat tight and said nothing. And then when Noel started turning it around on him, Adam was like, hell no, you're not about to do that with me. So Adam seems like, to me, the type of person that he seems to be is a straightforward bear who, when you poke them, they'll swing. So it must have been that Noel, because Noel, Adam Deacon was saying for a long time that Noel harassed him, bullied him, and had him blacklisted. So to do things like that, to Adam would have been like poking the bear. So my guess is that Adam had to confronted Noel on something about his behaviour, and Noel didn't take kindly to that, so he brought on the whole hammer of his connections down on this dude. And Adam must have tried to sort it out, or Adam must have been like, no, you're not about to treat me like that. And that's when the report came in. And that's when, you know, the mental health breakdowns came in, and the psychosis and reports of psychosis because of skunk and all that type of bullshit. I think what happened was Adam was responding normally to an abusive situation, and instead of putting two and two together and realizing, hang on a second, I'm the way I'm feeling is because I'm being abused, the industry painted Adam Deacon as a jealous, bitter basket case. And I don't know if it ruined Adam's life or not. I do know that he was on the section under the Mental Health Act because of that. And once you're sectioned, your life is very rarely the same again after that. So that's from what I've gathered. But the thing about things like, you know, first of all, I'm going to address the fact that BAFTA knew about the sexual allegations when they gave this man his award. When it comes to that, when it comes to you knowingly giving an accused sexual predator an award, it really begs the question, what kind of people are giving the awards out? What is their history? Because the fact that this man has been allowed to behave in this way and cause mental health problems for multiple people, the fact that any man or woman is allowed to behave in this way in a professional setting and cause multiple mental health issues for people, the fact that he's been allowed to do that, let alone do that and receive an award, what the fuck is going on behind the scenes, and who is leading, who is behind all this? That's what I'm asking. Who is behind the awards process? Who's behind the public relations? Who's behind all of that? Who is behind this? If you mean to tell me it can't have been time constraints? It can't have been something that simple. Nobody could be that lazy. It can't have been that. What I'm asking, what the fuck happened where this man received an award in the midst of allegations that have basically vindicated a man that has long been blacklisted? What is going on where he's been protected for that long? Who is behind the BAFTAs? What's their history? Who are they connected with? When the deeper you go into any industry, the more you realize there are a lot of predators there. So this is bigger than Noel Clarke. This is bigger than him. That's the first thing. The second thing is with regards to Adam Deacon. Now, I don't know Adam Deacon or Adam Clarke. I'm just, all I've done is kind of provided my own summations based on what I've observed and what I've read, okay? With regards to Adam Deacon, shit like this happens all the time. You've got somebody that, you've got two people. One is a narcissist mirroring somebody that is straightforward, very emotional, very blunt. So the narcissist mirrors this person, right? Because that's what they do in order to use the people around them. They mirror them, right? So they mirror this person. And what happens is that after a while, the veneer cracks, because the narcissist or the person who is manipulating you, you start to realize they weren't the same person that they presented to you. You start it starts to crack a little bit. And where you notice it start to crack is where they start mistreating you for no good reason. It starts off like little microaggressions at first, and then they build and build and build and build until you realize this person was not what I thought they were at all. They're a manipulative asshole. And I think, like I said, I think that's what happened between Clarke and Deacon. But at the same time, this is something that happens all the time to quite a few people. There's always somebody who is a narcissist and another person who is a straightforward, blunt, emotional person. And the latter always, they're always the first person. It's like John Doe facing off against David, what's his name, in 7, right? John Doe is a narcissist, and Brad Pitt's character is, is the only one to survive, and his anger is used against him. That's what this situation is like. That's what situations like this are like. Sorry. It's basically you get a straightforward, blunt person, their anger is used against them by the person who is putting all the chess pieces together, who is manipulating people, who is using people. It happens all the time. It happened to me. It's happened to several other people, okay? We always come into contact with a narcissist who wants to keep us close because they want to keep us in their pocket. They see that you're straightforward. They see that you're blunt. They see that you're talented. They see that you're intelligent. So instead of competing with you, I'm running the risk of making myself look like a twat. Let me align myself with you. Let me bring you into my domain. Let me look after you for as long as I can use you for. And then as soon as you start showing any signs of being human, in other words, the exact opposite traits that I show, in any times that, in any time that you start to show human emotion, I can basically turn my cracked mirror around on you and say that you're the one whose mask is slipping, you're the one who's crazy, you're the one who's this, you're the one who's that. So that type of thing happens all the time. You get, like I said before, when somebody's anger is used against them, that's when they're manipulated, and that's often how people like Adam Deacon are called psychotic and things like that. He might have been psychotic, but the guy was abused. Do you understand what I'm saying? The guy was abused. We can talk about his skunk. We can talk about anything. We can talk about anything like that. But he was an emotional person in a situation where a narcissist was fucking with him. Simple as that. And like I said, it happens all the time with people like that, with people like Deacon. Straightforward, to the point. It happens all the time with people like him. There's always some asshole that comes along and starts using him for what they want, because he's talented and because he's got such life in him. He's got such, he had that spark about him. You understand what I'm saying? So, of course, somebody's going to want to come along and use him. And then as soon as he shows a slightest bit of human emotion, that narcissist makeup, that's turned back around on him. You're jealous, you're bitter, you're crazy. No, that's the narcissist. That's not Deacon. Not from this particular situation. Deacon was not the crazy one. Okay? But he was made out to be, to preserve the image of somebody who had long understood when to abuse somebody and when to not abuse somebody, to abuse the right people. That is until he abused the wrong person and his reckoning came. You understand what I'm saying? So situations like Adam Deacon, it happens all the time. How many celebrities do we know that ended up in mental health, in a mental health institution, or being sectioned? How many do we know that ended up being sectioned? You can stay in there until you say what we want you to say, until you behave in ways that we want you to behave. And if you don't do that, we're going to dope you up and humiliate you. How many ordinary people in your life do you know like that? I'm betting quite a few. I'm betting increasingly, given the times that we're living in. How many black sheep do you know in your family who tried to get everybody aware of the truth, who tried to get everybody aware of what's actually going on, only to end up being treated like a mental case? I'm trying to tell you, I'm being abused, that this setup is abusive. In a narcissistic family setup, a family is like a business, and anybody who isn't pulling their weight, or anybody who threatens the brand, because when you start telling the truth about how abusive the family is, you threaten the brand. It's written off as crazy, written off as mentally ill, written off as that. We've seen it time and time again with celebrities. We see it time and time again with ordinary people. You've got the narcissist on one corner who will form what they want to form like a fucking chameleon, and then on the other side of the equation, you've got straightforward, blunt, emotional people who can't take lies, can't take the machinations, so they handle everything like a bull in a china shop, and that anger is used against them in order to paint them as crazy. The wider implications of Adam Deacons and the Adam Deacons of the world is that the truth tellers will always have all their shit used against them before the narcissist does, because the narcissist knows how to network. It's like I said before with the Alonzo Harris study, my reflections on the Alonzo Harris study. Narcissist know what people want. Somebody like Deacon, whether he knows it or not, and I'm only judging by the reports about him. I'm not judging him by anything else. I'm judging by the reports about him. From what's been reported about this dude, he's the type of person who's willing to sacrifice everything to tell the fucking truth. He sounds like the type of person who's willing to sacrifice everything to tell the fucking truth. Because he can't stand lies, it affects him. It affects him. From what I've seen of the reports of his behaviour, the lies don't sit well with somebody like Adam Deacon. But then, if I'm wrong, correct me. I can take criticism. If I'm wrong, correct me. But he seems like the type of dude who can't stand that manipulative bullshit. The third thing that I want to talk about is the cultural and political landscape. I said to you just not that long ago, it was in another video, I said to you that there was going to be a reckoning where, you know, things like the arts would be targeted, where things like anything associated with left-wing politics, the arts, you know, actors being exposed, the entertainment industry being exposed. Let me tell you something about the creative industry. The creative industry is the most honest industry that there is. You've got sexual abuse, sexual misconduct. You've got trafficking. You've got prostitution. You've got conservatorship abuse. You've got the type of blacklisting that Adam Deacon experienced. You've got that in literally every industry. But the creative industry is the only time where you actually see what's going on. 9 times out of 10, who are the stories about? The stories are always about people in the creative industry or in politics. Anything to do with show business. That's where you see the allegations. You don't see that type of shit from banking. You don't see that type of shit from, you know, large agricultural companies. You don't see that type of shit there. You only see it with things that are connected to glamour and connected to acting and connected to creativity and this is sowing a seed in our minds. When we talk about Illuminati conspiracy videos connected to mostly art, not even science, mostly art, right? And we basically look at these people and we see these people as harbingers of the apocalypse. What we're not realizing is that we're playing along with, you know, with the system's reset. Because the more people get lost in art and the more people take refuge in art is the more people start to wake up, because art is a natural mirror to our reality. So the more we focus on art and the more we focus on these things is the more those things are going to be attacked. It's symbolic of a political shift. The fact that all these actors are being exposed, all these entertainers are being exposed, we're still waiting for Andrew to face recriminations for his behaviour. We're still waiting for Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony. Everybody seems to have forgotten about that. We're still waiting for, you know, for certain people like Darby Vanity, even Jeffree Star. Like, as much as, you know, we're still waiting for them to face some sort of reckoning for their behaviour. It's not happened yet. Why? Because, you know, because our attention is drawn to distractions. There are taxmen. There are people who are high-end taxmen who do some out of the way shit. There are people who are engineers who do out of the way shit. There are people who are bankers who do out of the way shit. People who are textile producers who do out of the way shit. But you'll never know it. Because they're needed. The creative industry, because they're needed by the people at the top. The people at the top, they know that we need art more than they do. So that's what they attack. The entertainment industry is a symbol for people to become socially mobile and express themselves. What better way to work? So of course that's going to be the first thing that's attacked when the swamp is drained. The swamp ain't being drained. The scum is simply being skimmed off the top. It's not being drained. You know what I mean? Swamp's not being drained out here, man. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Did I put my fingers over the microphone this whole time when I was yelling? Can't believe this shit. I cannot believe this shit. Don't worry, it's not alcohol. So this attack on the art industry. Yes, there are some real scumbags in the art industry and in the creative industries. But the fact that we're hearing more about abuse in the creative industries and the entertainment industries than in any other industry, it speaks volumes to me. Because what they're doing is they're playing this game of making out like abuse, that the entertainment industry is the only industry in which abuse is commonplace. It's not. It's not. If you're a powerful person in a powerful position, you're gonna see a lot of dark and nasty shit. That's whatever industry you're in. And you're gonna know a lot of dark and nasty shit. That's regardless of the industry that you're in. But because people are focused on the creative industry in particular and focused on the predators that come out of that industry, it gets people to thinking that once we get rid of the industry, because a lot of people are talking about just getting rid of it, not fixing it, not changing it, getting rid of it. We don't need actors, we don't need singers, we don't need painters, we don't need this people expressing themselves and getting paid for it. We don't need all this. Get rid of them. It's representing a cultural shift of we don't want to see all this conspicuous wealth anymore. So in its place, we get scarcity and, we still get abuse, but it's a lot more tyrannical and it's a lot more scarce. What am I saying through all of this? What I was saying through all of this was 3 points. The first is that, the creative industry or the artistic industry, the industry of acting, is corrupt as hell. That's the first thing. The second thing is that narcissists using the mental health system and using the authorities to blacklist and silence people is indicative of a wider problem where abusers are present in every industry. Because you don't get to blacklist somebody like that unless you've got major connections with deeper and more careful predators. The third thing is that the creative industry is being offered up as the sacrificial lamb for a so-called better world when it's not going to lead to a better world at all. If Noel Clarke is guilty of these assaults or guilty of the harassment of 20 people, if he's guilty of bullying people and sexually harassing people and doing all this kind of foolishness, I hope he gets the book thrown at him. I have no sympathy for him at all. And I understand that it's more likely for a black man to be punished than a white man to be punished, but I don't give a fuck in this case. I hope Noel gets the book thrown at him if he is guilty. And I think he is. And it would certainly be vindication for Adam Deacon, which I'm here for. So, I don't think I explained it very well, but yeah. That's my 2 cents on this whole thing. It's so much more complicated than just like one man getting caught with his pants down. It's the implications of it are so much wider than you can possibly imagine. Do you know what I mean? There's corruption everywhere. There's corruption everywhere, but yeah, let's see what happens. I'm going to be following this Noel Clarke story. But anyway, yeah, those are my 2 cents. I hope I made sense for everybody, because, you know, when I talk, it's just like a stream. And I don't know if I make sense or not, but I hope it makes sense for you. Thank you for being with me today. Yeah, you guys take care. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.